Okay, I'm Ted Miller. I'm the consulting brewmaster on this project down here. Josh and I met in Indiana. Josh was a fan of Brugge Brasserie in Brugge Ripple, which we closed during the pandemic. He was particularly fond of Tripel De Ripple, which is this sort of the beer that made Bruges famous. It won a medal at the Great American Beer Festival in our first year of operation, and it just kind of went crazy from there. Josh wanted that beer, so I said, sure, you can have it. So we're gonna make him one down here, and so that's kind of the Ted and Josh story. What life is like down here is a lot like it is everywhere in the Caribbean, and that is island time. So everything takes a while. A lot of that is impacted by the availability of things. You know, you need especially in my field where it's so specialized. If I need something, I'm not getting it for many weeks. We do use mules in that sense. We had a group coming down last week. I sent all kinds of stuff to these people and said, put this in your backpack. And so they brought me a little tiny transformer. They brought me a bunch of dried yeast stuff for backup things. And those are kind of challenges that you get in an island sort of situation down here. The other kind of what life is like, if I'm not in the brewery, I'm probably in the water. Or my wife and I are tearing around the island on a motorcycle that we bought. Yeah, it's so much fun. We go through the jungles, we go to the little cities, we go to, these little, it's great fun. Stunningly beautiful place. What's really great about it is you have the jungle and it meets the sea, literally. It is so cool. So a lot of the Caribbean islands, Turks and Caicos, where I used to work, is a perfect example. Stunningly beautiful water and the reef and all that stuff, and beaches and white sand and all that stuff. Then you go on land and it is literally tumbleweeds. Well, here you are in the jungles, and that's one way we spend some time is we get on that dirt bike, which people think we're crazy, this 52-year-old couple jumping on this 150 dirt bike, off we go. My wife and I, that's been kind of our MO from the very beginning, is adventure. Adventure isn't just going out into the jungle and looking at giant fern leaves, or going into the water and looking at lionfish and the second largest reef in the world, all this stuff, but it's also an adventure to the palate. Wherever you go, you try the local food, you try the local ingredients, you do all this stuff, and that just builds onto adventures. It's stunningly beautiful. It was just stunning. I do like diving, and I dove in Turks and Caicos. But what I think is most fascinating, you're down there and you look at all the fishes and the coral and formations and all these things. That's all really, really neat. But I think my favorite part of it is the feeling that you get down there because you absolutely don't belong there, and everything around you knows you don't belong there. Right? But we with our scuba technology can get there. So yeah, it's just really fascinating to me, to be in an environment and respect that environment, knowing that you don't belong there. It's great. So yeah, that's certainly on the list of things I'm excited about. I am definitely most excited to turn that brewery on for the first time. That's going to be great. I cannot wait to use that thing. And then the second thing, and this is the reason I do what I do, and this is both with food and drink, but certainly with beer, I get the most satisfaction or I feel the most sense of accomplishment when other people get to drink what I made. There's nothing like it for me. Making people really happy to drink the beer. And there's a sort of a craft beer saying where the big guys, Bud Miller Coors, BMC we call them, right? Their whole philosophy is to make beer that offends the least amount of people. Ours is exactly the opposite. We try to make beer to please the most amount of people. So yeah, I really can't wait for people to drink this beer.